Hey, so how you doing, King?
You know how I'm doing. I'm just focused on music and stuff I'm about to, do later on. Cause my working time is 7. So right then I'm just boom, boom, bam, and trying to every time I do a track or even I don't even do skits no more, like I used to do a podcast like that. But right now I'm focused on, the next track I'm gonna drop because I want to make it so you got anybody want to listen to it.
Yeah, that's what I love about you. You're so consistent.
Mm-hmm. And that is what's key to make yourself really known to people, make yourself stand out above the rest is straight up just doing it
Work
and really
ethic.
going for it. Like you really have that every time we even get a chance to get on Instagram, we see the work that you put in and the promotion that you put in for yourself. I'm like, damn, I wish somebody else had that oomph about them too, It's a lot of artists that could learn that from you.
I'm gonna be honest. I get my inspiration from like John Cena and Hobson and all them. So when I started doing like music and stuff like that, even with the Love Payne Chronicles and even the podcast back in the day, I'm like, my inspiration come from I can drop this today, but my best work is gonna be later on. Right now I'm dropping it now, even though I like the song, but my best work is not now. I'm thinking that now, oh yeah, I like the song, but I'm like, or I like the pod, I like the Love Payne Chronicles, whatever skit I'm dropping, but my best work is coming from later on.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
It's pretty.
I think that's why we hear our old songs and we're like, no, I could do better than that. Mm-hmm. And then you look at over the years how much you get better with time, and hard work really pays off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when it comes to music, you see me switching my style up. I'm like, all these artists take this music so serious. I'm like, I'm taking it serious too, but I'm going from the singing somewhat Mo3 style to the I'm sounding the hood somewhat to I'm just messing around on the track like Hobson. I'm like, it's like, to me, I'm like, music is like a stand-up comedy where you think of a story that hit you, impact you your whole life. Okay, how about the sad story in the song? But let me just scratch it out a little. Let me scratch it out a wee bit. So you scratch it out a wee bit, okay, boom. People, oh yeah, I like that song. I'm like, yeah, I was just bored one day and I just did that at 7 o'clock at nighttime. And you like the song? I'm like, I don't like that song. But great,
Well, we can't do everything for everybody else. We got to do it for us.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find something like that you're passionate about and you're able to bring people a new way to think about things, you're so your captions and your songs are so thought-provoking. Mm-hmm. And you're very open about your story and you share your story with people. So that's why we're excited to have you here, so you can share that with the world. We know you're our brother, but we want the world to know who Love Payne is.
All right, Mr. Poetic Love Payne 92, aka Reginald Payne. I'm a guy who I was always told I was the kid who I didn't get bullied outside. Again, I said that before. Let me just revamp it. I didn't get bullied outside. I got bullied inside. People always told me I couldn't do. Even then, like a couple years ago, somebody told me I couldn't rap. And then I'm like, that's why I was comparing myself to Hobson, where I was told I couldn't so much. So my passion always, boom, I get like tunnel vision when it comes to everything in life, because throughout life, I was told I wasn't going to be anything. I wasn't going to amount to anything and all that. So I'm like, my life is like, I don't want to sound like Fast and Furious or Van Diesel, but I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Sometimes I got to legitimately, sometimes I be over pushing, because sometimes I do rush tracks. Sometimes I'm showing people the consistency where sometimes you don't have to be great, but you're still going to find the audience when you push something out fast, where sometimes I don't be lyrical. Only 2 lyrical tracks I got is, hey, look, damn, I don't even know my own songs. Hey, look, and the other song, I'm sorry for being me. because I'm like, those are songs where I actually try hard. I'm like, other songs, I'm just playing around because music is not NBA or it's not MMA where you just got to legit, you can go in and boom, boom, bam, you're going to find the audience somewhere. And me, I love music so much, but I'm like, I see the music, the rap music going now, and I'm like, if Tekashi and anybody else got on and all that, I'm like, yo, I got bars and all that, but sometimes I don't even focus on that on my music. My life, I focus on telling a story, but also trying to make it, boom, hard beat and make sure people listen to it. Well, even though I'm making a soft song like Dear Mama, but I'm still having a hard beat, you guys gonna still listen because the beat is so hard.
That's true. I mean, sometimes you don't need to try hard. And that's a fact. I think the only time you should ever try hard is like if you have a deadline and you're serious about a deadline, then you push yourself to the limit of your creativity and you get it done. But I am a true believer in what you just said, which is like basically don't take it so seriously. Like live, be, be authentic in it. Sometimes you're not really into rapping about all that hard gangster shit. Sometimes you end up rapping about love and butterflies and shit. You never know. That's the best part about being a creative is that you are fluent in anything. You can express anything. You could make an entire song about being the wind and people will relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that too when I dropped Troubles of a Young Black Male. I was saying some real life. Oh yeah, I was saying so much shit. I'm like, yo, yeah. I'm like, I like that song, but I don't like that song. Cause like more is priority, knocking on his property. I'm like, I'm not knocking nobody down. When I say knock them down, I don't mean shooting them like the term. I mean like I'm gonna fight you on your property. I'm not gonna shoot you, but I'm like, but I know how music is nowadays. So I'm like, hey, if y'all want me to, I'm like, it's not even because when other people want. That's why my songs sound different. Because I'm like, I listen to all kind of music. That's why sometimes you hear me say like the social outcast, like I'm a social outcast, because deep inside I know I'm a social outcast. Y'all see it for yourself because like I'm more consistent and I put out more work than anybody, but yet I'm still underrated. I'm like, everybody else they can drop a song one day. People, that's raw. I'm like, dude, I've been dropping way more hits than they was, and y'all real life acting like they really. I'm like, yo, he said everything I said in my song, but you acting like he said it better. I'm like, I'm a social outcast for multiple reasons. When I was growing up, I was a social outcast. I was in the room playing the video game, playing GTA San Andreas. I'm like, I want to learn how to drive, so I started playing GTA. So I want to drive. I was like playing like MMA, like UFC and all that, and WWE and all that, because I wanted to be John Cena when I was younger. That's why sometimes I do throw John Cena in my songs. I'd be like, ruthless aggression. I'm like, that came from John Cena. I'm like, I quote him a lot. So I'm like, I'm definitely a social outcast, and the social outcast, that's not even originally my term. That came from WWE. That's why you see me wearing the shirt sometimes in the pictures, because that came from WWE. I'm like, social outcast. I looked at my shirt one time in the dirty clothes. I'm like, oh, I can make a song out of that. So I started recording. I'm a social outcast, and then I'm like, I'm a fan of Mo3. That's why sometimes you hear me dragging my words in my songs. I'm not a singer. I can't sing no way from a fact, so I have to edit that shit so much. But I'm still like, I get inspired by anything. Like you guys can post, I'm like, oh, maybe I should do podcasts again. No, I don't think I'm on that mode right now. So I do podcasts. I'm gonna distract myself from my music, and my music is not gonna get where I want it to be.
Mm. Yeah, I think you can create space and time for your podcast later on. Nobody says that you have to not do those things. You can do them whenever you're ready to do them. They'll be waiting for you. It's okay to focus on a passion of yours that really means a lot to you. And if it's music, then do it. Because, the best thing you can hear as a creative is if it's put into your heart and in your spirit and in your mind to do it, then it's for you.
That's why I've been starting on the Brian Hooks podcast, the main star of Three Strikes, that movie. I'm like, I've been starting on that because I'm like, yo, I don't even remember how to do podcasts no more. I'm like, yo, I don't even know how to, because I tell people all the time, like, music is acting where you hear I talk now, right? I don't even talk the same way on my music because I'm like, music is action. Once I get boom, it's action. Oh, what? What? I'm like, yo, music is action. So it's like, I'm like, when I do podcasts, I'm like, I don't even remember how to do a podcast. I don't, I'm used to people asking me questions. I don't know how to ask nobody else questions. I got to do my. I know, like people background and all that because I've been following like a lot of actors who want to jump on the Headline Reading podcast. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know if once we jump on, I'm like, I'm about to be like the nervous individual, and I'm like, oh, goddamn, I seen you on TV when I was younger. Hey, how's it going, bro? It's gonna be that way.
Yeah, well, you never know because you could do a podcast and it could go viral around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people that we look up to on celebrities and stuff, they're just normal people like us. And
yeah,
if we really saw their day-to-day life without all the glamour and stuff, they probably got some stuff, that we might not look up to as much, but
I'm over here like, because I've heard some horror stories from celebrities themselves about just the assumption that just because you have more, you feel more. That's not necessarily true. And if you're not doing what's in your heart to do, like your passion, like whatever you want to create, whether it's a podcast or music or painting or puzzles, whatever creating you're doing, if it's not sitting right with you, it's not for you.
A podcast, it's a lot of work to do a podcast, but I'll tell you what, recording a song and writing a song and putting together an album, that's a lot of work too. I mean, that's pretty much 2 full-time jobs right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I look at myself. That's why I mentioned Tupac. I'm like Pac, because 1 minute, 1 week I'm an actor, 1 minute I'm a rapper. So 1 minute I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a Love Payne Chronicles. Even though I think that in my head, I still don't drop one. But still, the next week I'm about to drop a song. Boom, boom, boom. The same week you see me preview the song on Instagram, I legitimately recorded that song the same day. It's like, it's hard. It's hard as shit, but it's like one of those where all you gotta do is know how to make it make sense, like people say nowadays, where all you gotta do is say words that make sense and boom. People, I mess with it. I'm like, I go for my emotions. Am I feeling it? I'm gonna drop a song that same day. That's like me, all of us get into it. I'm like, I'm about to drop a song real fast. Boom, you'll hear an angry ass like Stellan Hobson song. You'll be like, okay. That's how you get down. I'm like, I ain't saying no names because I'm like, I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want nobody to at nobody because I said they name in the song. Like people say it's subs, it's not subs. Creative wise, I'm like, I don't want nobody to add them on no negatives and then they inbox them because I said something in the song. You know what I mean? So it's like me when it comes to art, it's like that's why I stopped doing Love Payne Chronicles because mentally I was in a good I was in a good space and I got no Love Payne Chronicles to put out no more. Like Chronicles is legitimately your whole life. So Love Payne Chronicles was, again, I wasn't rapping, I wasn't doing music, but it was still poetic where I was narrating like Dexter, Michael C. Hall. But still, I was like, I'm gonna put something out because at the time I was scared to do music. So I'm gonna put some type of content out. I'm gonna get people to understand how I really think sometimes. Well, when I get in an argument with somebody, I want people to understand my mind where you guys just talking right now to anger, but right now my mind is thinking like, okay, it's old. And then we shake each other's hand later on, but I'm like, my mind thinking, previously on Dexter, tonight's is gonna happen again and again. Like my mind is thinking that. So I'm like, I have to tell people all the time, like, that's why I post people like you giving too much information on social media. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm letting people know. Certain people you cannot tick off because it's not gonna tick off in the same rate where everybody else is gonna be, oh yeah, I'm sorry, bro. My bad. I'm like, my mind is where even afterwards, I'm still thinking about it,
Mm.
And that's what That's where the anger comes from in my music too. Because I'm like, instead of me focused on harming an individual and all that, I'm like, no, mine's gonna go to some music like Tupac hit him up and all that. And that's why I said in my one of my tracks, I said, if anybody takes a shot, you fucking reply back. Fucking reply back. I'm like, why? Because I'm not a hood rapper. I'm not. I was born in the hood. I grew up in the hood. I'm not gang affiliated, none of that. But I'm like, sometimes when you do music, you gotta take the lazy way out. And I took all the time as a musician. You gotta sometimes you take a lazy way out in your track. So you take the hood way out in the track. But I'm like, yo, I explained it to everybody. I'm like, yo, I ain't talking about shooting nobody. I mean, you can go in the octagon. We can catch your face like I'm Brock Lesnar. I dip you a couple times and boom, we shaking each other's hand. That's what I mean in my songs. When I say knock you down, I mean shoot you down. I mean knock you down like we're gonna fight. I'm ducking and dodging and you doing whatever because you're a street fighter. And then boom, that's it. It was over. We shake each other's hand. Then we having a beer at the park. Like, yeah, a lot of my stuff sounds negative, but it don't mean negative. When I say knock you down, I'm like, I don't mean like deep in the general way, knock you down, boy, I knock you down. I mean, no. When I say knock you down, I mean like, we gonna fight, we gonna shake hands. We brothers again. Hey, bro, how's it going? You
know? Basically, get it out your system.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
That's why sometimes for some of my songs, I always like my girlfriend, like, can you slap me in the face real quick? Slap me in the face real fast so I can get angry for this track.
Oh my God.
She'd be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, you gotta slap me in the face real fast. Oh, she's like, no. I'm like, okay, fine. So I started thinking about hella old shit. And then that's why some of the songs are legitimately angry because I'm like, that's why I started saying music is acting because sometimes I can be in a good mood, but the same day I can release an angry track. I'm like, I'm not even angry that day. I'm not depressed, none of that. But guess what? The track on me because I got method acting. I start getting the character all over again because the track I'm about to release is about to be an angry track, you know? Next,
I definitely get that. Method acting through your music. That's true. Because you do, like, depending on what song you write or you freestyle, you do turn into, like, this different character of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it might be soft and loving. The other one might be aggressive and hella hood. The other one might be bubblegum pop. You never know what's coming out.
That's why you hear can you tell me why I'm seeing homicide? I started doing the method acting thing from that because when I did that song, I was actually in that mindset, and then like for a couple of weeks I was like so going. So I'm like, I'm gonna just method act this shit now. I'm gonna get myself in that mode before I do this song instead of me actually real life getting angry at everybody. Oh yeah, you saying whatever? Now I'm mad at you. Now I'm about to. Okay, fuck it. Can you tell me why I'm seeing homicide? And you go homicide. Hey, I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm about to real life. I'm gonna just method act where even though I'm not mad at nobody, in my mind I'm making myself mad at everyone. Then after I'm done and I'm cut, and the song is over. Cause I do everything on my cell phone, like Steady Nash from No Jumper and the shit he do. I do everything on my cell phone. So I'm like, once I'm like Hobson, where I can't record a song in front of you guys. I can't record a song. I got to be by myself when I record it. So that's why the songs you hear lately be coming out better than the songs that was in the past. Cause I was recording that in front of hella people. I did that by myself in my room, my headphones on, my cell phone. I'm like, oh, I got an iPhone. Let me see how this come out. Oh, let me edit it. Boom, boom, bam. I learned how to like produce and all that because my cell phone. I learned how to direct and all that because of my cell phone. And I'm like, yo, an artist can be a real life artist if they actually take the time to just do it themselves instead of like. That's why I started posting like cock shit. Like, why would I pay somebody to do my music? I can just do it myself. I can do it myself. Sometimes I might sound like bull, like BS. But other times I'm like, oh, it's actually like that sounds professional. Sometimes I'll be rushing the track out because I'm letting people know. Boo, it's a consistency. Never give up, John Cena. You can't see me. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, oh, okay, I'm gonna take my time on my track. That's why some songs you hear the snippet of it, you hear the beginning of it. Other songs you hear the whole song because those are songs like it's like a mixtape. It's like that pit for live mixtape where I rest some tracks out because I'm like, nowadays artists don't have that nowadays where they can put a mixtape out and then put an album out. So I'm like, I'm going back to like 2012 and '09, where people like DB and all them was legitimately Young Junior and all them was legitimately putting out mixtapes and putting out albums at the same time. I'm like, I'm on that level where, yeah, some songs you hear on my IG and some songs you hear on my iTunes is not going to be on the album. But guess what? I'm not going to put it on Dat Piff for Live mixtape, but it's still on my iTunes. You can still, put it on your iTunes and, put it in your playlist. But it's like, I'm not doing where the artists is nowadays lazy. Well, I'm writing a song, and I'm like, no. It only takes time and pressure for someone who's not really creative. I can legitimately record, freestyle a song all June like I did. All my songs was freestyle and all my sound different. I was not saying none of the same words. Like all my life I had to fight by default. That was freestyle. When I got my ass beat outside, my daddy told me to go outside and find my own battle. That was all freestyle. I'm like, so when people tell me, oh yeah, music is like MMA or NBA, I'm like, it's not even close because I did MMA before and I got my ass beat when I was legit up in the octagon. That was not the same. It's not, music is one of those, okay, I'm by myself. Let me do the hops and where I got my door closed. I'm about to record this track real fast. I'm about to put it out. Boom. Oh, everybody love it. And right, boom, you got your ass beaten. Like, hey, he was better than me. He's a 10-year veteran. I was 2-year veteran at the time. He's totally different, So I'm like, it's not the same. Like NBA, again, NBA is different too. You think I can get in a court with LeBron James? No. I can get in a cipher with any musician nowadays because music is not hard. I'm like, I know how to talk. I can communicate. If I know how to talk and communicate, put that beat on, play it back 3 times. Okay, after the 4th time, I got the beat down in my head so I can freestyle on that whole beat. The hook and all is made up in my head. I'm not writing it down. And me, I take it serious when people say Lil Wayne, oh, you just freestyle all the songs. And people say, oh, yeah, Lil Wayne clock in. I'm like, no. So I took that serious. That's why some of my songs I just freestyle my whole first and second hook and my verse. The hook get made up on the spot. Like All My Life that was made up on the spot. By default, sound like a robot. That was made up on the spot because I'm like, when I was younger, people always said Lil Wayne. He freestyled his whole song. I'm like, bullshit, nobody can do that. And then people say, oh yeah, he clocked his stuff in. I'm like, oh, it's different. Because now my mindset is, no, I can legitimately get in the studio or freestyle a song. So while everybody's sweating, and oh my God, I got to write my verse. I don't have to write my verse down because I'm like, I hear Rondo and all of them. I'm like, yo, people can say my hooks and my bars is weak and all that. I'm like, I hear all these other artists. I'm like, yo, Mo3 is one of my favorite artists, but sometimes he say the same shit all the time with his song too. On every song, he'd be like, hey, fuck, what's that line he say all the time? He said that one verse, he said that one line all the time, and he'd be like, no weapon form to give this shall prosper. He said that all the time. I'm like, yo. So I'm like, how y'all judging me? You loving him? Tupac always say cemetery on his tracks. I'm like, I'm a music head, so I know for a fact. People repeat the same. I'm like, yo, so when I say what I say on my songs, you can't say I'm weak, I'm whack. I'm like, because I hear my voice myself. I'm like, yo, I sound like somebody else. I'm like, hey, is that really me right now? So you start playing your shit back to back like, did I do that myself? They said I couldn't do this,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You have this different view of what it means to be an artist. And I actually really resonate with your version of being an artist because to me, most days when I really want to do music, if I really wanted to do a song, she could put on any beat and I'll rip that off top any day, any moment, no paper, just the beat and me, and be okay.
I got a question for you. So what do you say to people who may be working a job and, they work full time, they got a family, and they have every excuse why they don't have time to pursue their passion in music or art or anything like that? What do you say to those people?
I say to them, no, they're making an excuse because even when I was busy and all that, I was still doing the Love Payne Chronicles. Like sometimes you see the Love Payne Chronicles, I was in different environments because I was doing other stuff like in-home care and all, like everything else. So I say they're making excuses because I'm like, if you have a cell phone And every phone nowadays is really, really, really smart. And the headphones. If you're into music, you can do that. If you're into podcasting on your cell phone, you can do that. Because all my podcasts was shot on a cell phone. The auto was shot on Terrell's cell phone, and the visual was shot on my cell phone. So I'm like, so when I'm editing the individual, he edited the auto, and then boom, we put that out. So I'm like, you guys making excuses because anything you making excuses about is right in your pocket. You can take the time to take like 30 minutes out of your job and anything to talk to someone on a cell phone, but you cannot take that time to legitimately pursue your passion.
Mm.
That's why when it comes to music, I'm like, I ain't had no excuses now because I'm like, yo, I'm doing that on my cell phone, the same headphones I'm on right now on my cell phone. I heard it beat, boom, boom, bam. I'm about to drop this real fast. That's why I'm like, that's why sometimes you hear some songs I sound like I've been sarcastic on. I am being sarcastic. I'm like, y'all taking this music real serious. I'm like, hey, it's my passion, but y'all taking it too serious where you still see people in my comments, even when I'm joking on the track, they're like, oh, you got bars, bro. I'm like, not to me, but okay, that was a joking track. But hey, I come hops in some styles because I'm like, if I take myself too serious, then I'm always be depressed in my art. So I don't take myself serious. I'm like, one minute I'm like, ruthless aggression. One minute I'm like, hey, hi there, buddy. Condescendingly. So it's like, I'm a jokester. So I try to put that in my music too. And anything in art, Love Payne Chronicles is serious because at the time I was learning how to, get the stuff down and all that. So I was taking it really serious. But now I'm just like, everything is art. So I'm laughing and joking. Like as you guys see, I'm a totally different individual right now than I am on the music and the Love Payne Chronicles because I am a jokester. I laugh, I joke a lot because if I take myself too serious, my art gonna come out way too gray. I want it to be colorful when I put my art out where it's gonna pursue it. It's gonna reach every audience. If it just reaches a certain audience, then my art is not doing this job. If I do like, oh, I'm an underground hood artist, yada yada yada, then it's not gonna pursue the lane I wanted to pursue. If I go completely DB and all them other like artists, I'm like, I didn't. That's all. Again, I come different on all my songs because I'm showing people I have range like acting in music where I can come this way. Or I'm the guy who disses somebody, or I'm the guy who I'm crying on my music somewhat and all that. I'm showing people I have different ranges with it because it's like acting. Because music is like acting. If you ain't got different range, like the baby, all your tracks gonna sound the same. So I have to show range because music is acting. Because once you start recording, you cannot have that same mindset as you have in life. Because if you have the same mindset you have in life, you're losing. You're gonna be thinking like, oh, this is reality. I'm conversating. No, you're doing the track right now. It's action. Boom. We put something out for somebody else to reach in their brain. If I just act like a stiff individual in reality, then that's not gonna sell. It's not gonna get no comment, no traction, none of that. So I have to have that same mindset with everything. That's why the Love Payne Chronicles and everything else is so consistent because if I just think, oh, I'm just about to do this real fast and drop a content. No, I'm thinking the wrong way. Oh, I'm just conversating, even though I'm narrating, editing the video of myself and all that. I'm like, nah, people not gonna feel it. You gotta make people feel it. That's why I always say Tupac and Hobson, because their mindset was make people feel you. That's why I call myself Mr. Poetic, because in a way it's like it's a double entendre where I always talk about Tupac and Hobson so much, because Hobson to me is a poet. Tupac, everybody know he's a poet. So I'm like, that's why you hear emotion in my tracks, even though I make them quote unquote fake hood tracks sometimes. Even then, it's still emotion with that. Like the Sorry for Being Me, that's a fake hood track in my opinion. There ain't no quote unquote. And that hey, look, I'm like, that was me making fun of other rappers who be like, yeah. So I'm like, hey, look, that's me making fun of people at the same time. Cause I'm like, I'm a creative individual. So I'm like, I told Terrell every day, I'm like, anybody take my music serious and I do drop them some hood tracks, they don't know me. Cause I'm just the clown behind the freaking microphone, right? It sounds serious. I still want people to listen to it, but at the same time, if you know me, you're gonna hear the real story behind the track. I'm just making fun of them other artists.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And I feel like we can get that. We get down with that because sometimes we might have like somebody that'll irritate us or something. We're like, okay, custom beats on. We finna freestyle right now. And we'll like freestyle like on a couple different songs, maybe like 6 or 7. And we'll rip it. But by the end of it, because we got to freely express in a fun way, these diss tracks or whatever, it was like really good for our creativity.
It's like therapy.
And yeah, and we work through our like feelings through that because like you said, everything ain't always so serious, like,
Right. And I'm curious because you've shared some of your story, your personal story with us, and your journey of well, can you tell the audience about some of your journey that you went through to get to this point?
All right, what I went to get to this point was, again, I was the kid that was made fun of, right? And I shit you not, I was a kid that was getting made fun of, right? Outside I was beating people up. Outside I was inside I was getting made fun of and all that. So to me, my peace moment was when I watched WWE. Like when I seen like WWE and I seen like all that, and then the WWE promos is why I say I'm not with that WWE promo. I take your ass straight to WrestleMania on the song. I'm like, that shit hit me because I'm like, oh, I real life learned how to talk because of John Cena, because of WWE promos. I'm like, oh, boom. My journey is everything is not glitz and glamorous behind the scene, like you guys said. Behind the scenes is like legitimately where, even till this day, where I get people poking at me and all that, they want to condescendingly like judge me and all that and laugh at me. And I'm like, yo, I'm doing what needs to be done. You can judge me or not. Yeah, your opinion is your opinion, but you're still not making it nowhere in life. But I'm still pushing because I have a passion with it. And my journey is legitimately my life wasn't the little funny LOL guy. My life was, I got made fun of. Sometimes I was a clinky kid. My mom was going hanging out. And I was at the house by myself, and not by myself with other people, but I was still crying on my mind. And she at the club, so she wasn't hanging up. She wasn't pick up the phone and all that. So I was that kid. So my journey is like everything I speak about on my social media is real life. My journey where it's nothing to make up. That's why I always say I'm real, because I'm real to myself. I ain't real because people can call me fake in any way, form, and fashion, but I'm more real to myself because the shit that artists don't release, I still say on my music. When I say people lock me up behind the gated community and all that, I know a lot of rappers in Sacramento right now talk about who own Rap Shack, who own Daddy Slap and all that. Talk about hood stuff, but they real life live in a gated community in a suburb neighborhood. So I'm like, that's real life for me. So I'm like, right now I live on 47, where people get, all the time. So I'm like, I'm not a hood rapper, but I still inspire that in my music. My journey is, I'm the guy with the afro and the glasses, but and because I'm like, everybody know, people who really grew up in the hood, you don't have to say no certain languages and say anything. It's just in our mental. My journey is, I'm gonna show people different where, some of my tracks sound like it's quote unquote hood, and I'm saying that myself. That's me quote unquote myself. But other tracks is just me being funny, because I'm like, y'all make it fun of everybody, because y'all taking this way too serious. And I show people all the time. That's why I share my stuff all the time. I'm letting you guys know, like, these hood rappers be taking themselves way too serious. I'm like, I was legit freestyling this whole track. People commenting, oh yeah, oh. Flame. I'm like, yo, really Flame? I'm like, hey, I listen to it, but still, he wasn't putting no flames in on that track. I'm sorry. Like, for me, it's like, I make fun of myself. And I believe when you become a human being, you can make fun of yourself. And some tracks, I'm dissing myself. A lot of tracks, I'm subbing myself. People don't even know that. Just like the Love Payne Chronicles. A lot of topics, I was subbing myself. A lot of people do not know that. I was taking shots at myself. I'm like, when you grow to be that individual, then mentally you grown. And we ain't grown like what people say on social media. Oh yeah, or you got a big job and your bank account is big. No. When I say growth, I mean mentally I've grown where y'all can cap on me all day. I'm like, hey, that's true. That's true. Nah, that's not really true. Oh, that's true. Oh yeah. You know, I'm like, that's growth right there. Growth to me is not a bank account. It's not, what type of car we have, growth to me is your mind. That's why I legitimately use the post by post. I'm like, my hair growing now. Mentally, I'm growing now. My hair just shortened because it's like, it's growth, you know? It's like subliminally showing my brain is growing. Like, oh, look, my hair is growing more. Oh, look, I got way more growth there, you know? Like I try to make fun out of everything. Like I try to like poke, like even on my music, I don't want to be a serious artist where, oh, I don't want to pay him. He's depression. Oh, he's so depressed. I don't want to pay him. Like I play Mo3 all the time. I play Hops all the time, but sometimes they track me the depression. When you have ooh we know from Mo3 and all that, you like, hey, let me cut this off real fast. I'm gonna start crying. I'm not trying to be that artist where I'm trying to be the artist. I'm trying to be like damn near Sag my pen Hobson where when I do my songs, I sing sometimes and all that. I'm like, that's me showing people, I have different ranges of music. That's why some of you be like, when whatever the bullshit I be saying on the songs. And then you be like, oh, okay. And that's me showing range. Because to me, again, I said it before, I say it again. Music is acting. You gotta show range. You gotta let people know. It's like somebody like Rich Homie Quan hit me up to get on a song. I can do a song with him because I showed my range in that form. And anybody who got gas who showed me get on the song, I showed my range. I'm like, but I'm sorry for being me. Is it this or not? I'm like, yo, that's my whole intent when I do my music. You hear different styles, different sounds. I'm just trying to show people my range. Like, you don't have to stay in one style and be like, oh, that's my style. I created it. I am not what's that guy name who did I Don't Fuck With You? I fucking forget his name. Big Sean. I'm not Big Sean. My super duper style is showing people I have every style.
Yeah, that's dope.
Okay, versatility.
Yes, and so
uniqueness.
Okay, so what kind of advice do you have to give to some younger people who are, they want to make music and maybe they haven't found their voice yet, and maybe they're trying to find it, but they're having trouble? What kind of advice do you give to those people?
All right, my advice to them is, I took legitimately baby steps, right? My advice to them is legitimately just go for it. If you don't go for it, you will never know, because mentally everything is in our head. So sometimes you feel like we don't have it, and we really do because what people say around us. But if you just go for it, the first track is gonna be whatever, garbage or whatnot, or your first TikTok video gonna be garbage or whatnot. But guess what? After a while, you have practice after that first one. So just go for it. And when you go for it, then boom, you found your voice yourself. Because we be so stuck on, look, we say we listen to ourselves. We do sometimes. But sometimes we have people around us that we can't. And then we get stuck in that mindset. That's how I was. So I tell them, just go for it. Fuck what people saying around them. Do it yourself. And you'll know you have it. And that's why I do music and all that. I'm like, I was told I wasn't so much around me. I am 30 now. And I'm finally doing music. I started doing that at 29. But I am 30 now. And I'm just down doing music because everybody around me told me I couldn't. That right there should tell a young audience, go for it. Go for it. Because if not, you're going to take too long, even though people tell me all the time, 30 is not too old to rap. Like, to me, it is. That's my personal opinion because people say that around me. So my mindset is still boom, 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 wrapped around the shit they said around me. So I'm like, just go for it. If you feel like you got it, go for your gut. Don't go for nobody in your ear. If you don't go for your gut, you're never going to ever make it to where you want to at all. You got to go for your gut. Go for your inner self. If you don't do that, you're done. You listen to everybody around you. And that's what tapped people out like me back in the day, because I was listening to people around me. I wasn't listening to myself. That what made me quit a lot of stuff back in the day. Because I heard people, oh yeah, he can't do this, yada, yada, yada. So I took that to heart and I wasn't doing it no more. So to them, my advice is go for it. If you feel it in your gut, you know you got the passion for it, do it yourself. Do it. Forget what everybody else is saying, because the same people down on you now, They're gonna be they're gonna uplift your shit later on.
There you go.
That's big facts. So we want to know what's in store for Love Payne. I know you said that you aren't doing the Chronicles anymore, but you also said you're working on a new album. What's up with that?
The new album, I've been bouncing from name to name. My album is gonna be somewhat like the Hops and Raw album, where that's why you hear some of my songs sound like I'm dissing people and all that. Cause I'm like, yo, I'm an aggressive individual when it comes to like people telling me I cannot. That's why some of my tracks can be like, oh yeah, I'm being into a super aggressive. Some of my tracks can be like, I'm super soft. I'm like, what's the story for the album? You just gotta wait to see, cause I'm still working on it. That's in the works. It's like action. Oh, cut. I can't give up so many information because a lot of songs that I got on the album ain't even released yet. A lot of songs are released that single because I realized a lot of other artists do that shit too, where they put it as singles and they put it on the albums too. I'm gonna repurpose a lot of tracks too, where I'm about to switch up a lot of verses and all that on my tracks. I'm in control of my direction of my music because I do it myself on it and all that. So a lot of my tracks gonna be definitely different. The ones you guys hear now, it's not gonna be the same one on the album.
That's interesting. I want to know what else you do, because I know you do music. Mm-hmm. You're a comedic actor. You do poetry, and you do a podcast. What else what other things can you do that we don't know about?
Anything entertainment, I jump in, like, because I'm like, if I have so much energy, I'm like, sometimes, like I said, one day I wake up a rapper, one day I wake up an actor, one day I wake up a comedic, one time I wake up, hey, you know what? I just want to lay down and watch YouTube. One time I'll be a podcaster, yeah. Hey, let me ask you about yourself. One time I'm like, hey, ask me about me, narcissistic. And like, yo, it's just like, my mind is like, it's everywhere but somewhere. Like I said in that one song, Stop Playing, like my mind be everywhere but somewhere. You don't understand what I'm saying, because I don't understand what I'm thinking sometimes. Because I'm like, yo, my mind be everywhere somewhere. Like one day, like I have a borderline personality disorder. So sometimes I wake up, okay, I'm really serious. Someday I'm like, hey, let's laugh, guys. Let's shake hands. We're buddies. Nah, you forgot what you yesterday. I'm like, my mind is just everywhere. So even to me, I don't even know what I have in store for me. Because like some days I wake up in another form, other day I wake up in a different form. Like I'm not a negative individual. Amanda knows. She better help me. Like I'm not a negative individual. It's just that my mind just everywhere but somewhere. It's just when it comes to creating, I don't overthink all my stuff, because if I do that, that's my product come out horrible. So for me, I just once I started, that's when my come out great. So right now, I can't tell you guys what I got, other stuff I got going besides the album, because everything else I do, it's like it just be on the cuff, where I'm about to do this real fast. Like everything on the cuff. Like, I don't script nothing. I don't write nothing down. From the Love Payne Chronicles to the music, I don't write nothing down, because I'm like, if I can have a conversation like we're having now, and I can legitimately not repeat the same thing only sometimes, only stuff, and then boom, I can do anything without scripting it. So anything like what my life isn't scripted. My life isn't on paper. My life is just, hey, tomorrow I'll probably do something different. Who knows? I don't even know right now, depending on what mood I'm going to, be in tomorrow. That's how my mindset be.
Okay. Let your creativity lead you wherever it leads you. Pretty much.
I mean,
that's like surrendering to the artist in yourself and just saying whatever you want.
Yes, and you do your own artwork too, right?
Yeah.
Yep. You do all your own graphics and photography and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe to me, I believe you're not an artist if you don't do like your own art, your graphics and all that. You just like damn near surrendering to someone else when you just rap or whatever. You don't do your cover photo. I'm like, I do the caption and the cover photo, even when people post me on their timeline. I do the caption and all that, because I'm like, people know I talk a certain way. When I talk, sometimes I be an asshole. The headline reads like it's real life big news, and it don't be big news. And I'm like, I just be like, fuck it, moment of silence. Now about this Harvard program called life. People like, why you say Harvard program called life? I'm like, because no matter what mental we in life, life is still horrible in some way. Life is still horrible. While we having a good time, barbecue and all that, somebody right now is crying over their kid who's getting killed. That's why now I'm back to the Harvard program called life. Because even then, that's not artwork, but that's still art and words, because you have to make sure you create something in some way where people want to repeat it. If you don't do that, or even if we see, look, you guys told me personally, the Love Payne because sometimes looks cinematic. I'm like, yes, after I record it, I do shot by shot on my cell phone. I move it up, boom, boom, pop, do on my cell phone, and then I make sure I tone it like a movie and all that. And sometimes I go dark like Michael Bay. Sometimes I go highlight and all that. It's like you got to do everything yourself, because that's when you really become an artist. If I'm just a rapper, I'm not an artist. If I'm just a podcaster and everybody else is editing my shit for me and all that, I'm not an artist. I'm just a guy who's in front of the camera and everybody else doing everything for me. I believe you become a complete artist when you do everything yourself. And you guys know, you guys do everything yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do our best to.
We do everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
but that's what I wanted you here, because we want people to see an example of what you can accomplish with some determination, and people got to stop getting, giving these excuses that they don't have time, or they have kids, or they don't have enough money, or there's a million excuses we hear every day, and that's why when we thought about having you here, we could show people an example of how you can move properly with, doing your own stuff. And you don't need much. You don't need a big studio. You don't need tons of Photoshop or anything. You can do a lot with a little.
I do everything legitimately. On my cell phone, legitimately. From music to the photos, that's on my cell phone. And 98% of the time I'm using my iPhone 12. That's way years behind to do that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing all that on my cell phone. And like sometimes like, yo, it's just one of those things where people gotta understand, you have time all the time. That's what line people need to put in their head. You have time all the time. You have a cell phone, headphones, you have a camera on your phone, you have an editing, you got the little eye app that you can edit and boom, cut yourself out the photo, put yourself on all that. I'm like, I did it on my cell phone. And a lot of my photos I use on my covers now, I repurposed from back in the day when I was taking hella pictures back there on the timeline. I'm like, I just repurposed a lot of photos from the old house I lived in. I'm like, I repurposed, like the Why Bother? That was an old photo from like months ago. I just repurposed that for an album cover. I mean, not album cover, a single cover. I'm like, you don't have to have no excuses, because if you have excuses, that means you really don't believe in yourself. Excuses is I don't believe in myself. That's all excuses is. When I had excuses, I didn't believe in myself. And I believe I'm a human being like everybody else. I believe when everybody else have excuses, they don't believe in themselves. That's all that is. That's it. Like you see me, I can make the most horrible as draft a track and I still post it on Instagram. You know why? Because I still believe in my work. I still believe in myself. I can make the most horrible photo. I'll still post it. You know why? Because I still believe in myself. Once people stop believing in themselves, they're not gonna be on that hype. That's why a lot of people not on that hype, because they don't believe in themselves. They have hella people in their ear. Got people telling them, "Oh, bro, you ain't really got it like that, bro. I'm way more raw than you," and all. You know how people talk. So it's like, nah, you really got it. They just mad because you got it and they don't.
Right. There's a big difference between confidence and being cocky.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, there's a humble side to being confident within yourself and knowing that you don't have anything to prove to somebody else. Meanwhile, other people are flaunting materialistic things and repeating the same things other people say, same words, and recycling other people's songs and thinking that they're better than everybody else. Yeah.
Hey, that's why I said, that's the way it is. That's the way the world go. You know why? Because the world is weird. Like, look, you guys see it on your timeline every day. A guy can be way whacker. I ain't saying I'm raw and all that. I'm not the rawest artist, all that. But I'm saying I do be dropping songs. I'm like, yo, this should be way more up there than that. And somebody else would be like, oh yeah, this person is super. I'm like, this guy didn't even say nothing, but he just repeated something that somebody else said. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, guys? I'm like, the world is weird because whoever got the most followers or the most likes on their like whatever video or whatever they snipping it, that's who they F with more. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of followers, but at the same time, all my followers don't mess with my music or my content. Like, that's why I get 6 likes, sometimes 40 likes and all that. I'm like, they don't mess with my stuff like that. When the moment you see the ones that got hella likes, everybody started liking and commenting. I'm like, yo, y'all cloud chasing because y'all think I got closet. And I'm just a normal guy in the house, man. I ain't got no clout. You see me, I'm not the BET award. I'm just a normal guy. Hey, like I'm humble because I've been around so many Sacramento rappers and I've been all them a lot of unknowns legitimately act like their ego be getting so ahead of them because they dropped the song or they just slapped the Rap Shack and all that and act like they next up and all that. I'm like, yo, that's not what it takes to be a musician. You have to legitimately be like Tekashi, where you have to be formed in every fashion, not just music. You got to know how to talk to people. You have to know how to do music. You have to know how to do whatever. You have to know how to. Oh, when somebody say action on a movie, say you got to be formed in every way nowadays when it comes to music. You can't just I'm only a musician. I'm just a musician. That's it.
Right. And I like that you keep using like acting as an example because when it comes to your favorite actor or actress that's in a movie scene, when the director says action and they have to do a scene where they have to dive to the floor, I bet your favorite actor is getting ready to throw that ass on the floor. They are ready to shift into gear to get in line for what they want to do and how they want to express it. And like they really get into character. It's a great way to think about how I think we should all use kind of use that method to do our music, you know? It's a separation from the artist and real life, but not forgetting what the real life brings into the artistry.
Yes, indeed.
And I appreciate you bringing that to the podcast today. Really appreciate that.
That's why when you hear me on my songs, like I don't say I don't say that in reality. I say that on my songs because I'm like, yo, if I do that on my music, I'm like, I'm going the aggressively I feel in my mental. I'm putting that on my song now. So I'm like, wait. And I hear it back. I'm like, yo, I don't even talk like this in reality, but hey, it's me how I think, and that's me how I get down in action. But I don't even talk like that in reality. But hey, that's why action. I'm like, hey, okay, fine, action. I look at everything like acting because I'm a fan of WWE, and people. Yeah, it's not real. It's not all that, right? And I'm a big fan of John Cena and Randy Orton, all of them. So I'm like, yo, watching that all my life, like I can cut off and cut on. Where the person you hear on the track when I'm like, hey, bitch, all that shit, like you're not gonna hear that really. You'll be like, oh, you're completely different. I'm like, yeah, that was just me. I was action, boom, bam.
Yeah.
It's just action. That's it.
Yeah, straight up. And we really appreciate you bringing that authenticity with you to the podcast, giving the advice that you gave, being raw and who you are and what artistry means to you, and just sharing the ways that you have started to develop your artistry the way you want to. Is really important. And we really, really appreciate you coming on and sharing that with everybody. I know everybody that's going to be listening to this is going to be blown away because I know there are people who don't know you, but they are about to.
Yes. Go ahead and tell everybody how they can find you on social media.
Yep.
You guys, you just at Love Payne 92, LOVEPAYNE 92, not split up together with the 92 on every platform because I'm legit on every platform. Other platforms I don't want to talk about, but yeah, I'm on every platform.
All right.
All right, and we're gonna have all your links in the description. So we want everybody to go follow you, go check you out, and show you some love.
Yes.
And let Love Payne know that the Mixtape Queen sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And
go show love, y'all. Go show some support.
Yeah, show some support.
Hey, you guys, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time. We're supposed to be collaborating a long time ago. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. We want to.
Yep. And next time we do your podcast episode, when you have you on again, it'll be in person because everybody's first podcast episode is always through the phone. But that in person is coming. I'm telling you.
We're coming.
Hey, let me know when you guys are in my location. You guys know my location. I ain't gonna say it out loud, but you guys know my location.
Got you.
Yep, we got you.
Got you.
Wait. How are we gonna end this? Now I'm back to this horrible. Now I'm back to this horrible program and go live. Moment of silence.
Moment of silence.
A moment of silence.
Yes, King. We're so happy to see you and see your smile and hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
We're really happy to have you here. So thank you for sharing your time with us and sharing your message with the world, having the courage to be yourself, and despite of all the losers out there who want to start trouble and they don't even know who they're talking to. We see you and we love you.
Yep.
I love you guys too. It got to my heart right here. It just got to my heart.
All right, King. Well, we hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much again, and we will be talking to you soon. Rise like a phoenix into a realm of the